Guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. So in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to create a simple Python quiz trivia game, and this is for absolute beginners. And also, if you want the code, you can get it from GitHub. And let's just get started right away. So first you're going to have to install Python. I already have this installed. You can install it for your system, Windows and Linux, and then once you have that, you can install the VS Code editor or any editor you want. Then you can create a folder and then a file in that folder. For example, I called mine game.py. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, to print something in Python, we have to do print. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print welcome to the quiz trivia game. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get input from the user. I'm going to call this input answer. So answer equals to input. Do you want to play? And then it's gonna be yes or no. I'm also gonna put a colon. So if the answer is yes, then what we're gonna do is print. Great, here is your first question. And then otherwise, else, we're gonna print goodbye. So let's actually go ahead and test this out right now. So Python game.py. Welcome to the quiz trivia game. Do you want to play? First, let me try doing no. Okay, goodbye. Let's try doing yes. Great, here's your first question. Okay, it's working fine. And now what I'm going to do over here is now I'm going to give another input, and this input is going to be for the question. So answer equals to input. What does CPU stand for? Okay, and if the answer, this input, we're talking about this input. So Python gets the latest code. So for example, if I define a variable over here, e equals 5, then I later change it to 6, then Python will use this one. So just like that, we first use this, and now the latest one is this. So Python's gonna use that because under this condition. Otherwise, it's just gonna print goodbye. So if the answer is central, actually I'm gonna do answer dot lower. So what this does, it accepts lowercase and uppercase, so we don't have confusion with that. So if answer dot lower equals to central processing unit, what we're gonna do is we're gonna print correct. Otherwise, else, we're gonna print incorrect. Alright, let's go ahead and try. Welcome to quiz trivia game. Do you want to play? Yes. Great, here's the first question. What does CPU stand for? Central processing unit. Correct. If I say I do no, it says goodbye. Okay, it's working fine. I'll say I do yes, and if I do a wrong answer, and great, it says incorrect. So this is working fine. So I'm gonna add more questions later, but now what I'm gonna do is, if the user gets the question correct, we want to increase their score. So we're gonna have two variables over here. Score is gonna equal to 0, because when the user starts, their score should be 0, right? And we're gonna have total underscore questions. This variable will be used to calculate the percentage the user gets. So I'm gonna keep 4 questions. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep adding more. So if the user gets this correct, score plus equals to 1. Okay, once we have that, we're gonna add we're gonna keep another input. So answer equals to input. Let's say who won the 2010 Soccer World Cup, and then I'm gonna keep the answer here. So if answer dot lower equals to Spain, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print correct, and then otherwise print incorrect. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna increase the user's score again. Score plus equals to 1. And then let me just go ahead and add a few more questions. yeah, score plus equals to 1, and then what we're gonna do is answer equals to input. Let's just do another question. For example, why don't Americans drink tea? And then okay, and now what we're gonna do over here is if the answer is equal to answer, my bad, because British taxed tea. That's the answer. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do dot lower, or else we're gonna get capitalization issues. Okay, there we go. If the answer was because British taxed tea, then we're gonna print correct. And also gonna increase the score. So let's see how many questions we have so far. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and add one more. Wait, also, if we get this question wrong, we forgot to declare what to do. So else, otherwise, we're gonna print incorrect. Well, I think we already did that. My bad. We already did that. So okay, this is where tax T, and now also if we get this one wrong, we're going to print incorrect. And let's go ahead and add one more question. Answer equals to input. What should we do? Let's see who won the 2022 World Cup. And then if answer equals to dot lower equals to Argentina, and then we're gonna print correct, and we're gonna increase the score, and then otherwise we're going to print incorrect. So yep, I think we have 4 questions. Okay, this is the first one, this is the second one, third one, fourth one. Yep, we got it. So after this, after the user gets this one correct, we're gonna calculate the user's score. So the formula to calculate percentage is part and whole divided by the number of questions or whatever. So let's say, for example, on a test there are 4 questions, and then a student gets 3 of them correct, and then what we have to do is we have to divide those and multiply by 100 to get that answer. So we're gonna just use that formula over here. So we're gonna print congratulations, you are done, and then we're gonna do you got give me a second. Wait. So I'm gonna do percentage equals to say what's that thing? We have to use this formula. Okay, yeah. Score divided by total questions multiplied by 100. Yup, and now what we're gonna do is print you got percentage, and yup, that should be good. Let's go ahead and test it. And also one more thing, in the who won the 2022 World Cup question, instead of just doing Argentina, we could keep 2 answers if we want to. We could do or Messi. So yeah, we could do that. So if we enter Argentina or Messi, he will print that as correct. So let's go ahead and try this out. Welcome to Quiz Trivia Games. You want to play? I say yes. Here's your first question. What does CPU stand for? Central Processing Unit. Correct. Who won the 2010 World Cup? Spain. Incorrect. Wait. Let's see what happened here. Oh, okay. We have to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and try again. What does CPU stand for? Central Processing Unit. Correct. 2010 World Cup. I'm gonna do Spain. Correct. Why do Americans don't drink tea? Let me just copy this down. Yo, wait, I forgot to keep it as lower. Keep forgetting to do that. And let me just also do it over here and here. Wait, we don't have to do it here. Yeah, we don't have to do it here because that's the input. Yep, let's go ahead and try again. Welcome to the quiz trivia game. Do you want to play? I say yes. Great, here's the first question. What does CPU stand for? Central Processing Unit. Correct. Who won 2010 World Cup? Spain. Why do Americans drink tea? Let me just copy this answer. Correct. Who won 2022 World Cup? Wait, I have to run it again because there was a typo there. But for now, let me just do Argentina. Alright, congratulations, you got 100 out of 0. Wait, but I'm actually gonna do one more thing. If we get the answer incorrect, I'm just gonna keep the program going. I'm gonna go ahead and make it ask the next question. So let's go ahead and do that. As you guys can see, I have actually updated the code. So even if the user gets the answer incorrect, it will keep asking the next question. So what I had to do is I removed the deeply nested if statements, and I fixed those. And let's go ahead and actually try it now. On games.py. Welcome to Quiz Trivia Games. Do you want to play? I'm just gonna do no. Do you want to, okay, yeah. Do you want to play? Now let's do yes. Great, here's the first question. What does CPU stand for? Central Processing Unit. Correct. We won 2010 World Cup. Let me just get it wrong this time. Okay, why don't Americans drink tea? Let me just get it wrong again. Who won the 2022 World Cup? Let me just do Argentina. Congratulations, you're done. You got 2 out of 4. Your score is 50%. So that's how it works. So let me just actually go through the changes I just made. So, yep, everything's same over here. But what I did was I kept lower over here instead of after the answer. Both things work the same, but this one is just a better practice. So, yeah. So, yep, we have this. And then, but the main thing I changed was, if we have this question, I don't give the next question right away. So, if the user gets it wrong, I keep this next question over here with proper indentation. So, it keeps going even after the user gets it incorrect. So, let me just go through the code so you guys can actually go ahead and just write it down yourself. You can pause if you need to, and yep, I think this is pretty much it for this video. You guys can get the code from GitHub as I mentioned earlier, and yep, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you guys in another video. Bye.